All right, let me ask you this. We asked about Mac Jones at the press conference yesterday, and they said, well, we'll take calls on anyone, just like we'll take calls on ourselves. But we would be so shocked if Mac Jones wasn't on this team next year, because he's just he really made Brock better. Do you buy that? It sounds like they're kind of just telling the league, like, hey, you better offer something really good because we love Mac Jones. Do you think they'll trade Mac Jones? Should they trade Mac Jones? How do you feel?
Well, okay, let's go back to this thing. When's the last time Brock Purdy played an entire season as a quote unquote healthy quarterback?
He did it once in 2023. He sat the final game because they had clinched, but he did play through injury that season, and that's the only season he's done it.
Correct. So therefore, okay, let's say you trade Mac Jones. Who is going to be your new number 2 quarterback?
Curtis Rourke from Indiana.
Who's your next Mac Jones?
Curtis Rourke.
See, I tell you, this is going to sound crazy, but if I'm sitting over in Henderson, Nevada, I would rather have Mac Jones playing quarterback and use my draft picks and make trades to get other players at other positions, and I can take Mac Jones and I can win with Mac Jones. I mean, win with a capital W. That guy can play quarterback.
Yep. So why spend the first round pick on Mendoza, who is going to fail on the Raiders because the Raiders aren't good? Why not trade down, like get like the Bryce Young package where someone trades a bunch of picks if you can for a quarterback, and now you have all these assets, and then you bring in Mac Jones, who probably isn't that much worse than Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza might not even be good. He hasn't proven anything.
Yeah. It's a transition from Indiana. No matter what Cignetti did there, it's going to be a light and day deal to being up in Vegas playing quarterback. The other thing about it is the draft picks are key because the Raiders are more than just a one player away from being even a 500 ball club. Okay.
Yep.
And so I can get a multitude of picks. And this is a very crummy year to be looking for a quarterback in the NFL. Dante Moore stayed at Oregon. He probably would have been taken as the second quarterback in the draft. Now, the next quarterback in the draft is some kid named Tyler Simpson from Alabama, a nice kid who still looks like he should be in high school. He's going to be probably the 15th or 16th, someone, Pittsburgh or the Jets with their second first-round pick, who are drafting at 15, 16, or 17. He's going to be taken that far down the ladder, but that's a stretch to even make him a first-round draft pick. Then the next kid is you got this kid at Mississippi who's coming out early because he couldn't get his the courts to reverse his deal. He at best is no better than a late second round draft pick. There are no quarterbacks in the draft. And no disrespect to Fernando Mendoza. The guy had a great championship ball game. He had a great season, 16-0, great player. But you look at his talent level, you look at his grade, his real grade, not your emotional grade. His grade, he's not John Elway. He's not Jim Kelly. He's not Dan
He's
Marino.
A lot closer to Mac Jones. He's a lot closer to Mac Jones than those guys.
Exactly. And so you're going to take your first pick of the draft, which should be saved for a guy who's a Pro Bowl lock player, and you're drafting this young kid from Indiana because you need a quarterback.
Yeah.
But next year, when you have all these other quarterbacks come out, you're going to say, oh, my goodness, this guy's better than Mendoza. That guy's better than Mendoza. Yeah. This guy's better than Mendoza. But you took Mendoza last year, so,
You can't take him.
No.
Yeah. Let me ask this, though, for the Raiders' perspective. Okay, trade down, trade for Mac Jones if you can. What about trade Maxx Crosby? And what about trade Maxx Crosby to the 49ers? Do you think they would trade Maxx Crosby to the 49ers, or do you think Mark Davis just wouldn't do it?
Here's the thing. I don't know if the Niners have enough high draft pick sequence for me to take Maxx Crosby. See, if I'm trading Max, I'm not just trading for the 28th and 29th pick this year and then the number 1 next year. I want a top 10 pick for this year and a high second. I want to be able to get premium draft picks in selections, not just a volume of draft picks, because drafting at 27, 28, 29 is like the second round to me. I'm not going to get a lock Pro Bowl player where if I get in the top 8, top 10, I will get quality picks for Maxx.
Yeah.
And, see, that's the other thing. It's not just a matter of trading him, but trading him for what? And I can't trade him for some middle to late first round draft picks, even if you gave me 2 first round draft picks in the 3rd and the 5th, and then another one next year and another 3 or whatever. But if you're a winning ball club, your picks are at the bottom of each round. That's not enough for Maxx.
Look, let me come back to Mac Jones for a second. I think they should keep Mac Jones because I don't think that Brock Purdy can stay healthy. But you can make the argument that, he's the franchise quarterback with what they're paying him and the state of the roster, all the needs that they have and their limited draft picks and resources to really fill these needs. You could argue that like they can't afford to have such an asset on the bench, and that they need to trade him and bring in a young star and put the pressure on Brock to stay healthy. I mean, is there anything to that?
Well, but the bottom line, Grant, is if Mac Jones goes off and is in another franchise wearing someone else's uniform next year, I'm concerned about who is the number 2 quarterback. And it can't be some guy who has been, eating sunflower seeds on the sideline and has not taken any snaps. I've got to be able to win in the NFC West, play Seattle, play the Rams twice each team. You've got to have a bona fide quarterback.
Yeah.
You can't
could argue a big difference between this season and last season is Mac Jones. They had Mac Jones when things went bad.
Yeah.
And if Brock gets hurt next year, the wheels could fall off.
If they did not have Mac Jones this year, who would have been the second quarterback? They would have been lucky to go 8-9, let alone 10. And
if they didn't have Mac Jones this year, someone was getting fired. They should be grateful to have Mac Jones.